Yeah, there you go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of MCU Rewatch Analysis. And holy shit, we're so close.
So
We're so close. We're literally the third movie from the end,
Yep.
and we just finished doing Ant-Man 2 along with Infinity War. So we've already been seeing some amazing stuff. But of course, this is the only movie that's keeping us away from Endgame right now. And I think it's a pretty important one too. Do you remember?
Two.
Uh, uh, do you remember your reaction when you first heard about Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that they
Oh, you wanted me
like
to?
of their choice. Yeah, like what do you think about their choice as in choosing Captain Marvel as?
I didn't know. I wasn't because I didn't know Brie Larson,
Mhm.
so I didn't know what the beef was.
Yeah,
Really,
there were
like
some
when they were like,
there were some news about her, I guess, like way of working. Some people found her difficult to work with, I
oh,
think.
really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know much about her as well. I've
Hmm.
only watched her in this one, and she was in Community for a bit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And that's so. Do you
Like
watch
as a
Community?
character
Yeah,
or guest.
as a character.
Oh,
Did you watch
that's weird.
Community?
Not really.
Oh, okay, yeah, she was
Actually,
there,
not at all.
and she played like a nerdy girl, so it's very
Oh.
different from what we see her as in Captain Marvel. But as a superhero, I really have no idea. I mean, I know
I
she's
mean,
strong, you know. Before this movie, I just knew she was strong and that she had lasers
right?
or something, and that she got her powers from aliens. Like that's it. That's literally the only thing I could tell you. I didn't know her.
Like, if the movie wasn't released, you would know that
Yeah,
about the
yeah,
character.
that's all I would know about the character.
Oh,
I wouldn't know that she was half human. I wouldn't know that she
oh,
I don't know. Like she had to get her powers from somewhere else. Like I didn't know her backstory. And plus, Captain Marvel as a superhero itself had a lot of changes through the years, right? Like obviously,
right.
it started out as a male,
Yeah.
and then
Marvel.
it got passed down to a female, and it got passed down like a long time ago. But then there's also like Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, right? So it's
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
it's a lot of confusion, and I know some of the comic book freaks out right now. They're like, Miss Marvel's a different character, you bitch. Calm down, bro.
Yeah. Calm
Don't
down,
get.
nerd.
Yeah, I'm not trying to have a war with you. Like, if you tell me that she's a different character, I believe you, and I will acknowledge that. You know, you gotta teach us some of these things, man. I don't know everything.
Yeah, that's why we're making this pod thing.
That's it, exactly. We're here to learn. But
Yeah.
what's also important is that this is also the MCU's translation or rendition of the superhero Captain Marvel. So, of course, accuracies to the comic books are well and nice, but anything that's unique to the MCU shouldn't be shamed of as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Plus, it has to work with the narration. I think the superhero. I think Avengers needed that trump card. They needed that Omega level
Yeah.
type of power, you know, on their side.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't have that.
And I think they kind of neutralized her involvement during Endgame a lot.
Yep.
Because, any other person would have been like, she just came in the beginning and like lifted Thanos to space and like, broke his neck. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, or people were saying like Ant-Man should have just went up Thanos' ass and then got big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I don't subscribe to that shit
yeah, it's
because
like
This is just fans talking. I don't want to talk to you. You know what I mean? It's like people are all in the forums and like they're posting on Reddit and shit. And I'm like, yo, just wait for the movie.
Yeah, dude. I try not to watch all those like prediction where they're
Yeah,
like, "Oh, this is the trailer analysis. So let's try to predict." 99% of the time, they have it so wrong.
yeah, yeah.
Even though it's that convincing, like the facts they
Mm-hmm.
laid out, you're like, "Oh yeah, this one makes sense."
Yep.
And you watch the movie and you're like, "No, this is." You're like,
It's not
"What?
how it went.
This doesn't look exact. There's nothing like the trailer." Home Alone isn't
Yeah.
about you know dead
Being alone.
kids. Yeah, like it's not a horror movie. What is this? I've been bamboozled.
Is that the trailer in the Philippines?
I don't think I've ever
Multo.
watched any trailers as a kid. Actually, I think I have. Philippines was a different.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I did.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I reacted to a trailer.
What was
You know,
that?
this was before the internet and camcorders were available to a 5-year-old.
What trailer was that?
I don't know. It was a Filipino movie about like crime, and at the end of the trailer, it was like now playing, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
said
yeah, yeah.
NO. But then I was like, no playing. Why would they give you a trailer? As though I was, it
um,
was a fob moment even before
it's
coming
classic,
to the West.
classic right there. That's
No playing.
and your mom's like, "Sira ulo talaga tong batang to." I'm like, oh man.
Yep.
Well, whatever that Filipino movie was, it probably got you. That's what trailers do.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, for me, this one, I wasn't too excited to go watch it in the movies. But I was expecting a lot of girl power stuff, and obviously, lo and behold, that's what it delivers.
Yep.
And I don't know if people know.
Power.
I don't know if people noticed, but the trailer for this dropped
Mm.
in the same day that Wonder Woman trailer dropped. So there's definitely
Ooh.
some competition against DC in
Mm-hmm.
terms of girl power movies
Right.
that they had. And if I had to
But
compare, what would you
to be honest with you, Wonder Woman was really good.
I
Yeah. As
agree. I agree.
but the big picture here that everyone has to take away
Hmm.
is that capitalism, even if they're saying like equality, girl power, etc., feminism, whatever, they're still making you fight over each other and making
Facts.
money off of it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel. Capitalism wins.
Yeah. 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 It's true. I mean, they got two big powerhouses to make movies, generate as much money as they can. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Capitalism won.
Yep.
Um, I like Wonder Woman a lot more because it had a lot more action.
Yeah.
Um, but it ran a little too long for me. That was my only complaint. I think it was like two and a
Word.
half or like almost
Wow.
three. Yeah,
Yeah. It
yeah,
was an epic that we didn't ask for.
yeah. That was like way more epic, definitely.
Yeah.
And it was less lighthearted. This one is a lot. There's a lot of lighthearted parts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, and we're going to my favorite era,
the
the
'90s.
90s.
This is the '90s. All right,
Yeah.
so let's start this rewatch analysis with the first scene. And the first scene is usually for me talking about what happens in the story. But the first thing I want to talk about is the Marvel logo in this one. It's
Oh, yeah.
changed in memory of Stan Lee because this is the first movie that was released prior to his passing. So it's a pretty big deal, and it showcased all the fucking cameos that he's gone through in all the Marvel movies. Him being Hugh Hefner, the bus driver in Infinity
Yeah.
War, the commander in First Avenger, And it's just like a fun way of remembering a dude that made all this happen. It's pretty insane if you think about it. This man
Yeah.
literally just wanted to make comic books. He's just like any other child-minded person out there that's like, you know, it'd be cool if you can do this and this and this. Like, you ever meet that one kid in high school that's just like that drew his own Yu-Gi-Oh cards? You know, like
X. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah,
Those are
yeah,
really talented.
yeah. There's a really
Really talented.
talented dude that has
Yeah.
an imagination of craziness, you know.
Hmm.
And Stan Lee somehow acquired the ways to execute it, and it
Yeah.
just snowballed into this crazy. Like Captain America was made in what 60s? Not even, bro. Like
Early,
yeah,
really
like
early.
30s, right? 40s. World War Two.
I actually don't know.
Yeah, late 30s. Like
That's
I don't
crazy.
even know. Stan Lee was like,
America.
so yeah. Shout out to Stan Lee. Rest in peace, Godfather of Marvel, of
Yep.
course. But the
Yeah.
real opening scene is the dream flashback memory of the crash landing, and which is pretty much the number one memory that ties this whole movie together as a narrative, right? This is the dream, or this is the memory. This is the last memory that Carol Danvers or Veers remembers prior to to her amnesia, right? And we later find out that this dream was fabricated to hide the truth, and we kind of see it a little
Hmm.
bit as the movie goes on, because in the beginning we see a was it a squirrel holding a gun trying to shoot at her, and
Oh, in the beginning, it was like a mysterious figure.
yeah,
Uh, yeah,
yeah, in like smoke, like we don't really get to see the face. It kind
yeah.
of makes it seem like it was a scroll with like the way the head was shaped, but it was kind of blurry, super hazy. It was kind of as if it was purposely done to do that, to like, confuse the person. um and then she's having all
Confused.
these flashbacks, and she can't sleep. She wakes up in Hala, capital city of the Kree Empire. What did you think about the city?
Jeez.
Cool.
Not really. Unmemorable. I
Mm,
think the world building needed to like be introduced slower
yeah,
because this is a totally new place, right?
yeah,
With totally not totally new characters and like species, but it's new, but it was just like not really well done, to
yeah.
be honest.
The whole the city looked more industrial. It had like a dimmer look. It wasn't like Xandar where people were like, out and about.
Yeah.
This one is a bit more disciplined. They look like they were there to do business, and I think that's pretty much what the Kree Empire is based upon on, right? Where it's like it's almost like the whole planet or the whole empire is about being in an army. It's about being uniformed. It's about being in line,
Yeah.
and it's about like and they also have a reputation of being dicks, right? Much like Xandar people.
Yeah.
They're apparently they're much worse because
Ooh, yeah.
they try to form a treaty. I think in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume One, we hear about them still bickering with the Xandarians. So it's like it's pretty
The
much
Kree and the
like
Xandarians.
yeah. So it's pretty
Mm,
much just like two super egotistical
right.
empires trying to like intimidate one another,
Yeah.
right?
Like Pepsi,
Yeah,
Coke,
that's like if the Nazis and the fucking
with Italians.
Italian communists, like go at each other. It's like you guys are pretty much the same thing. Um,
True. That's
these
true.
are recurring dreams which keeps Carol awake, so she asks Yon Rog to spar. Yon Rog is played by Jude Law, who is another pretty big named actor, I would say. And he's the jackass in this movie.
Yeah.
Cool looking name, cool sounding name, I guess. But he's there to show her how to control her powers, which is something that I guess she has never really questioned. And the audience for us were like, I never really understood that either.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a weird setup.
Yeah, where it's like you like why is she wearing a chip to control her powers? That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah. Doesn't
Um,
it like give you a red flag? Like you're super powerful and no one else can do this, and
yeah,
but you.
yeah, but let's not talk about it. Let's go have a cup of coffee. Like what? We also learn a little bit about the supreme intelligence and her role, or his or her role, its role,
Yeah,
in the Kree Empire. So it's kind of like the god, right? The kind of like that you talk to influence you and kind of keep you in line, and doesn't have a true face. Like it can take any form according to who the supreme intelligence is talking to, right? Like somebody you admire or somebody you respect. That's usually who
mm.
you'd see. And for now, for Carol Danvers or Veer, she has no idea who she's talking to. And I think we later on when she sees more of her memory, that's she's like, yo, that's that bitch from my dream. The fuck?
She's like,
Yeah, she's like Leonardo DiCaprio in fucking
what's that movie?
Hollywood.
The
Once
oh
upon a time in
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Oh, word, word, word,
Yeah.
word. Yo, that's X. Look at that foreshortening right there.
Hey, the
Look at
depth.
that.
Should be
Ooh,
holding an orb in your hands a different way.
draw me.
Um, and then we see Carol go on a Kree mission to retrieve a spy amongst a planet that's being overtaken by the Skrulls. This is the race that the Kree have a long-standing war against. Not just in the MCU, it's in the comics as well. And so they finally introduce us to the Skrulls. Very famous race from the comics, and as well
Yeah.
as a person or a Skrull named Talos for the first time. Another famous Skrull. In the comics, Talos is not able to transform. That's what makes him a unique Skrull, but in this one he does, which I don't mind, or else he'd be really useless in the story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? Because it's
You just look like a scroll all day.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, in the comics, I'm sure that he's still as powerful as it was without the use of shape shifting. But this is maybe he'll lose it the ability later on. But I feel like in this movie, if he wasn't able to, he wouldn't have much use because a lot of the things he does is through that.
Yeah, it's pretty scroll like.
Yeah, pretty Skrull like. Skrulls in the comics have fought pretty much every single Avenger out there. Um, and they're known for being a race that conquers planets without planets knowing. So they were part of the Secret Invasion um,
Oh, word.
arc, uh, where pretty much the heroes all turn into Skrulls and all that shit. So yeah, it's a pretty cool bad guy slash race to introduce into the MCU. But what I really like about it here is that they don't make them bad guys. Like they're not the menacing, we're Skrulls and we're here to take over the world. Ah,
Yeah.
that's what is in the comics, right? Where there's just a bunch of goons and they're like, retreat, Skrulls. Till next time, Captain America. Like, I'm glad that they put, and I'm sure that there are bad Skrulls, blah blah blah, out there. Same thing with the rest of the other races, but in this one, they show that they're pretty much refugees.
Yeah.
They're just looking for a
Yeah.
place to live, to be in peace, right?
Yeah.
And
Huh. Interesting move, Marvel. They're really like playing up the refugee like, you know.
recently, yes, especially in these last parts,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
talking about displacement as a society, as a race, even as a family. Not just with this, but also there's guardians too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy. And they get there using the space highways to travel to planet Torfa. So this is the planet that they're on. We're using smaller versions of the usual Kree ships that we see. which is like the long thingy. What's his name had one?
Roni.
Yeah, Ronnie the Accuser had one. Pretty cool,
Oh my
and
God, Ronnie.
it also further solidifies the space highway thing all across the MCU now. I mean, we've seen it in Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
um, I think Volume 2, and then we see it here, and then we see it again later on. Do we?
Ragnarok.
Yes, Ragnarok, we also see
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I love that, man. Mainstream, Keep it simple. You don't
Yeah.
have to, like, and it's explained in a way that's, like, good enough for anyone to expand their imagination as to
Yeah.
how many highways is possible, because in Star
Yeah.
Wars I can't, like, there's no.
Like light speed. Come on. Like you're telling me there's nothing in front of you, then and there. Like how?
Yeah, see what I mean, like, the rules are explained in the MCU in a much better shed of light compared to, like, Star Trek and Star Wars, where it's just like, sir, we have to
Yeah.
go into warp speed, and you're like, it's like, okay, watch out for the asteroid. Like, how do you?
Yo, even one dust can like you can light speed through it,
You're dead.
kills your entire crew.
I guess. Yeah.
Yo, like Magneto with the coin to Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's head. That was iconic scene right there.
Oh, that was crazy, right?
Yeah, and it comes out like all bloody, crazy. Um, but yeah, shout out to Space Highways. I think it was James Gunn who first did that, so shout outs to him. And I'm glad all the other movies, regardless of the director, has mainstreamed it or
Yeah,
streamlined it all throughout. Um,
yeah. It's like the ocean actually,
yeah, pretty much.
like with currents and shit like that.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it is.
I like it. I like.
Um, while they're trying to go look for the spy, Danvers gets blasted, and we get a slight montage of her blurred memories as a human. And, her falling down as a kid, playground, a little go kart, training as a soldier, can't get up
Yeah.
to the top rope. You're a woman, you're a girl. Girls
They were
are
savage.
weak. Yeah, this is like, you're like, hey
They were
man, is
so
this
mean.
is this girl empowerment? You're like, you don't have to ask that because literally every single person taunting Carol Danvers does not hold back.
No man.
And the worst part is, like, we know these people exist, but they don't taunt like that. They just smirk and they just laugh,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
The gatekeep.
they gatekeep
Yeah.
on these things just so that they have the ability to say, "I never said that," even though we all know full well you think like that, bitch. And but more specifically, the memories of her mentor. What was her mentor's name? Dr. Lawson.
Peggy. Peggy
Peggy
Lawson.
Lawson. Yeah, yeah,
Is
her
it Peggy
mentor. Yeah,
or Wendy?
that works for Shield. Starts to pop up, and now she starts to recognize him. Like, yo, that's supreme intelligence, a lie.
Uh huh.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's
Mm-hmm.
a pretty cool sequence that it has. You kind of, it's a dream, but obviously it's coming from the standpoint of Carol Danvers, and it's like, the way that her, what's her name, Peggy, walked away, and she looked
Yeah.
back to the place, and, like, she's there again.
Yeah, that
It's
was crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of like as
Cool.
if she was like, Carol, I've come to bargain. You know, it's like in a time loop a little bit, right?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Let's
How
get
did they
called
do
back.
that? Oh, I know how, but let's just ask that question. How
Yeah,
did they
yeah.
do that?
How do they do that? Green screen baby, CGI
Yep.
baby. And then as it keeps replaying back and forth, we get to hear these, like, voices in the back talking about the scene, and we learn that she's actually captured, and this is all in her head right now. And it's the scrolls that are trying to extract information from her via memory. I think memories is a lot. Memories is pretty much the theme of this movie, right? It's what drives the character. It's what bonds the character. It's what shapes them. But at the same time, it's what ultimately broke them down too in the beginning,
Yeah.
right? And it's also used as a tangible substance for the plot. Like
Yeah. Literally.
the Skrulls are trying to find motherfucking Lawson,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Ooh, the name tag. Look for it, man. This motherfucking the science guy is supposed to be good. That's your science guy, right?"
That's crazy.
Um,
Like that kind of technology.
yeah, dude. I mean, this is like eternal sunshine of the spotless mind type of thing. Even Inception
Hmm.
too, but this one is they're using memories more of like a hard drive. That's
Yeah.
what they're pretty much treating their brains as in here, right? And we'll learn later on that Kree has the ability to manipulate that as well, which is another technology that we have yet to see unfurl in MCU. Um, but Carol Danvers wakes up. She's obviously OP. She like blasts her way out of there,
Yeah.
right? She had no shoes on,
It's not even
fucking
fair.
bonked Talos in the head,
Yeah.
took an escape pod, but that escape pod got damaged, crash lands on Earth. Dun dun dun. And some of the Skrulls also ended up there too. Dun dun dun. So at this time, the Skrulls are still seen as the bad guys. So obviously, as the audience, you're like, "Oh, Danvers is Earth, yay!" And you're like, "Skrulls Earth, fuck!"
We're doomed.
And the mother behind you is like, "Please, sir, stop swearing at the movie." And you're like, "Fuck those kids,
Fuck them kids.
fuck them kids." I think Nick Cannon's hilarious. Fuck you, son.
He's hilarious. He's hilarious, Dad. I think that's his actual son.
I think so too. Fuck you, son. Um,
That's funny.
she crash lands on Earth, and she crash lands on your favorite place to go to on every Friday night with your parents when you were young. Is the good
Yep.
old Blockbuster.
The bee.
The bees, is that what you called it? Yo, Ray, you want to hang out tonight? Nah, bro, I gotta hit the bee stove.
No, no, no. I don't. I did partake in this ritual for a few years before they went out of business.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah. But
was.
yo, some people who are watching this, they don't know what that is.
Yeah, but sadly, it's because the technology that you have now
Yeah.
um, is what killed it. The fact that everything's on demand, renting movies and renting video games is no more a thing. Yes, you could rent video games too. People don't understand. Why would you rent video games? Because
Why would you buy video games?
back then, video games were only just do the story and you're done.
Yeah.
Now it's like
Yeah.
you gotta go
GTA.
online. Yeah, like you play
Yeah.
online. Now you have a never-ending story. Back
Yeah.
then, it was, oh, you didn't finish Battletoads in a week? Too bad. You gotta give it back.
Yeah.
Now you gotta
It's
pretend that you
true.
know the ending to Battletoads. I don't know that. I never
Yeah.
finished it. Didn't
Man.
make it.
He's the he's the one that
Yeah,
didn't finish it.
I did finish Aladdin though, so suck on my
Nice.
deck.
Nice. I
Anyways,
finished 101 Dalmatians.
oh
Let's go. But I
wow,
own the game, so it was not fair.
it's not even there. That doesn't
Yeah.
count unless you did it in under 6 days. Then you're good.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I was a kid. I like, come on.
That's true. Okay,
Wake up,
that's true.
go.
That's true.
Let's get these let's
Those
get these
were those
puppies.
were better times, man.
Yeah, we
Where
can't do that now.
my only problem back then was like, man, that Donkey Kong level's really hard. Like
Yeah.
that was literally my problem.
You were at family parties and you're tight about it. You're like
I'm having a bogey. So he's fucking this 8-year-old just fucking
yeah.
stressing the fuck out. Those fucking
It's like
barrels, man, they won't stay still. Oh, like what are you?
yeah,
What?
with the like the plastic filter that they give you in the
Yeah,
Philippines.
Cruella Deville style.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, she shout outs to Blockbuster. We miss you. Although you're kind of useless now. A lot of people are like, if Blockbuster open again, would you go? No. Why would I go?
Well, maybe if they served other things. Like, okay,
Beer.
no, well, yeah, if they could serve like cases that you could take home as well, and it'd be like a cool place where all the nostalgic people and people who want to check it out.
Hey, look, if they have
Yo,
like
business idea.
private screening, like you could take whatever DVD or Blu-ray and have your own like movie with like 10 people. Why not,
Yeah,
right?
that would be great actually.
Then you have all like the refreshments there, but like high good shit refreshments. We're talking like barbecue. We're talking like good like no, like you know what I
It's
mean, like
nighttime.
that's what I'm saying, like good shit. I'm not talking about
Yeah,
popcorn, son.
no.
Talk about pigs in a blanket.
Yeah.
Too
He's right.
much. Too much. Filet mignon.
Yeah, they don't want a filet mignon. This guy's just one station prepped just to sear mignon.
Yeah. Fucking
What's up?
risotto,
Oh shit!
truffles, and everything.
Oh, come on.
Anyways, that's not how Blockbuster was. Okay. She
Yeah, you just
somehow,
go there to rent movies.
when she landed, she somehow communicates back with Jude, and he gets a little surprised.
Jude.
What's his name? Young Ron. There we go.
Jan Rug. Jude.
That's his actor name. I'm sorry. That's
His friend. My guy Jude.
Young
Okay.
Ron. My bad. Young. he communicates back with
Dying.
Young, and he gets a surprised but worried face when she tells him that she's on Earth. And as the audience, you're kind of like, okay, I guess that's normal. Maybe he's worried about her safety, and then you realize later on that that's not the case. It's more than meets the eyes, guys.
Yeah,
Transformers.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Robots in disguise.
they called in pretty much the big guns, and we meet a very young Coulson, and of course a very young Nick Fury before the eye patch. This man has hair. Um, they did a pretty
Like,
good job.
dude, he looks like this.
Yeah, look, look at that picture right there.
That's crazy.
That looks
Like,
normal.
how did they make that happen? He doesn't
That's-
look like that in real life.
Of
He
course, he's old.
it it's as if he actually lived in the 90s, filmed this movie
Yeah,
in that body, and it's so believable.
yeah,
Like that's what's that thing called? Deep fake?
pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
but this was like little early in the year before deepfake really blew up, right? I mean, now it's much more simpler to just copy and paste the dude's face and then like trace all the framing and all that stuff. But this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
this
yeah.
right here
Yeah.
is some like crazy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like DC out there is like spending millions of dollars to make a demonic looking dude, and it still doesn't look good. Meanwhile, Marvel
It's
over here is using this tech just to make Sam look young,
yeah.
and he looks good.
Yeah, man. Look at that. He looks like man.
Looks looks real, man. I'm pretty sure like we try I'm pretty sure Sam Jackson when he first saw this, he probably thought, "Oh my god, that look like."
How did they do that? Like,
Yeah, like
he
can you
probably
do
freaked
that?
out.
Can you do that for real? Like shout outs
Wow.
to all the what do you call those? Graphic developers out there like
Fucking wizards.
that do this type of stuff. Yeah, you guys are facts. You guys are wizards. This is some movie magic shit. Like this is
Yeah.
you've come a long way from Jurassic Park to this.
Yes.
You know what I
Clever
mean?
girl.
Clever girl.
Clever
um,
girl.
they meet with Carol Danvers, and obviously they're super skeptical. They think she's like a performer. They think she's some crazy girl, and then a chase down starts happening against a Skrull. which is pretty crazy. This is the one where she goes on the train, she beats the shit out of an old lady. They fight on top of the train, which is like, I don't want to say it's cliche, but it's been done
Yeah,
so many times. I mean, Wolverine even did it in
yeah.
his
It
in his
they did
third
it better.
movie.
So good.
Yeah, this one was really good.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, the X Men one or the Wolverine was
uh,
really good.
that one was the best one in my opinion.
Japan, my
Better than the
gosh.
one like Peter Parker one. Better than
Yeah, yeah,
like, uh,
yeah,
yeah, this that one was fucking crazy.
yeah. Oh my
Did you
god,
like the
I want to
Japan
watch it
one?
again. Yeah, I actually really
Yes,
enjoyed it. It was
dude,
pretty refreshing.
underrated. Underrated. Me and my cousin watched
Yeah,
that shit 4 times in the theater.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, there's a fucking Wolverine robot at the end.
Yes, Silver
Like, how do you
Samurai.
not? And people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, it was so corny," and you're like, yeah, "You just don't understand the culture, like the Asian culture, because it was so in line with, and it was
Yes.
canon too, right? Like this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much what happens. I don't know about the robot part, but
No, no, no. He has a suit in the
okay,
comics. He ends up making a suit, the Silver Samurai suit, to power
yeah,
him up. But this one he made a mecha, which to me I was like,
yeah,
hell yeah! Why wouldn't you make a
yeah,
goddamn mecha? Um,
yeah. I actually, I mean, seeing the bomb drop, and then the dudes you know,
it was
like in the
brutal too,
beginning,
man. It's brutal. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
people.
Because
I don't think it was for an audience like the MCU audience. It was for more people like us,
I guess because
give me that shit.
when he raided like the village in the snow, that was fucking crazy, dude. He just like
Yeah,
fucked everybody up.
yeah,
Like you Wolverine, dude. Logan doesn't play.
yeah. I want
Should
to
have,
watch that tonight.
yeah, yeah. And they had the foreshadowing of Logan there
Yeah,
too in that movie with the "You will die with your heart in your hand."
yeah.
He's like, he's like
That's
bullshit.
crazy.
Fuck you. Stab their neck.
Wow.
Not canon. Anyways, back to Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that didn't
um,
happen.
yeah, she goes on a chasing spree, but she never catches the Skrull. But we also learned that Coulson in the car turned out to be a Skrull. This is why
Ooh,
he barely had any reaction towards Captain Marvel's crazy gun or her powers or her laser thing. But that Skrull dies, and then
rip.
what's his name? Nick Fury starts freaking out. He's like, "Oh fuck, this is some weird shit. This is like, I guess, the opening of his eye, a little bit,
Mm,
in terms of like
rip.
what Shield is about and what they handle, right? It's like it's not just like your cops and robber type of bullshit. We're talking intergalactic, homie.
Yeah,
Saying like
this is where it started.
pretty much for him, everything after this was just like, of course Thor can fly. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like nothing's too crazy for him now, which is
True.
nice because there has to be at least, it's nice that a high level shield agent or shield person ends up being like that, because in here he's just what, level 3 agent. He's not really, top tier or
Not
whatever.
pretty high. Not high at all.
Yeah, I mean, he has like a new partner, Coulson, right? But it's not like he's the what is he now, the
Who,
captain.
Coulson?
Nick Fury.
Captain Nick Fury?
No, what is he?
Maybe.
He's the chief or whatever position that he's in shield, president or whatever, commander. um but it's good that somebody with a high stature like that has already, I guess, experienced a lot of interstellar shit compared to the next person. But they did have the body taken to Shield, so right now, as we know it, even in current MCU, that Shield is, they know full well about the existence of Skrulls, since they pretty much had one body to examine.
Mm-hmm.
And the autopsy was pretty cool. Obviously, that was a prop, that was practical. I don't think that was CGI at all. Looked very real,
That's gross.
very gross as well. And then it's revealed that Fury's boss is also a Skrull. So right now the audience is like, oh man, this is kind of fucked. Like who's not a scroll?
Yeah.
That's the real
How
question.
did how did they get to that guy first?
Which guy, the boss guy?
The boss, yeah.
I
Like
have
how did
no,
the
I have no. I
you
mean,
know?
it's they never really show you how the boss came to be as a scroll, and we learned that it's Talos, right? Talos,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
him, the main scroll, or like the leader of that refugee pack or whatever.
Wow.
Um, should rewatch that again and see where it came from. But I think, in my opinion, they were just keeping a close eye on each other,
Yeah,
especially knowing that Coulson was the scroll, and then he just kind of infiltrated there somewhere. I don't know where the real boss is. I don't know if Talos killed him,
yeah,
if he tied him up or anything like that. That's pretty
yeah.
brutal. Um, Kind of ruins his character a little bit if he did kill him. But for the sake of the narrative, let's just keep on going with it. Um, yeah, so not really sure whether it came from the squad in space, or already one in place on Earth. But that was before I realized that was Talos. In the comics, they are known to be in every planet. So in the comics,
Oh, word.
there's Skrulls already in the planet. So it might be the same thing here in the MCU, right?
True.
The Coastal one might have been a Skrull on this planet. Find out that Skrulls are there on a mission. Blah blah blah. We never know. Um, Now Danvers is free. She's pretty much just like doing whatever she can to try to get back into space or look for the Skrulls. But now she's trying to find out what these visions are, since now she's seeing a lot of familiar things in her surroundings that correlate with her visions. Thinking like, oh, maybe I've been here before. You know, just trying to find that way. Um, it's funny. She's trying to find information, and she goes onto internet cafe, and she's using what, Yahoo search engine.
Yeah.
Very old school stuff. She has road maps. A lot of kids nowadays, they've never had to learn. Like, they don't know how to learn to read a map quest
Oh yeah. Oh
page. You know what I mean? They don't know how to do that. They don't know.
yeah. Lucky you.
They don't know that. Back then, like, you ever go on a lot of road trips as a kid to see your cousins from far? Back then, like, rest stops were crucial, because
Yep.
that's when the dads and the uncles go outside and put that map on the fucking hood of the car and act like they're fucking Stalin, like they're moving. They're always pointing at it like as if they're moving the troops here, and you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like,
I love that shit.
while the kids are stretching and getting snacks from the vending machine. The older kids are behind the washrooms trying to have a cigarette. That was
uh,
me and my cousin
that's so
at
funny.
16,
Wow.
going to New Jersey. 8 hours, dude. And so, as
I
kids
made that trip.
who would
Yeah.
smoke, I would be like, I'm fucking dying. I need a cigarette. When you're 16, you can't just be like,
I'm
hey, can we
dead.
stop? Because I need a bogey. You know what
Oh
I mean?
shit.
Don't smoke, guys. Unless it's
No,
ganja.
don't do it.
But
Unless
yeah.
it's menthol, baby.
Uh, why do black people like menthol cigarettes?
Answer
I
is
don't know. That is
correct.
correct. We don't know why we like menthol cigarettes.
Oh, why do
Uh,
Filipino people also like it? We
I
don't
don't
know
know.
either.
Well, this is the first pack you see, and it says menthol.
Uh,
Menthol
oh my
cigarettes.
god, this guy had it like on hand,
Yeah.
prop on hand.
Shout outs to the First Nations. Maybe they're from the Cree
Jeez.
tribe.
Ooh. C or K?
Connection.
Nice.
Anyway, so she uses the internet, try to find more information about what she's saying, and she goes to the bar that she has these visions of her partying it up, with some girlfriends wearing a cowboy hat. Pretty much looks like every Tuesday night at Sheridan Pub. That's what it was. Just
No.
just a bunch of white girls listening to country songs. That's
True.
what country night was every Tuesday night.
That's godlike. Shania Twain?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, a lot of Shania Twain
I wish we had that. Damn.
girls. Well, you guys were art school, right? You guys had a lot of like.
Yeah. We had lame shit like 90s night,
That's not
you
bad.
know.
Wow,
Yeah, but like,
ungrateful. This guy is. Did you really
I
want?
know, right?
Uh,
But I like those like really, really small gatherings, like the country. Like, come on. If
yeah,
someone
yeah,
had
it's
told me
true.
there's a congregation of 10 meeting up about
Yeah,
like Shania Twain and shit, I'd be like,
I'm down.
what time?
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah,
Yeah, tell me the
especially
coordinates.
especially at a bar. Hell yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah, at a bar too. Yeah, yeah.
and you bust
Not
out the
just at a park.
karaoke.
Yep.
Yeah, she goes to the bar. Um, she kept seeing, and she meets Fury. Um, which is pretty cool because I think he followed her, right? Shield, you know what they do, and he's there not to like arrest her, but I think now he's just curious. Now I think he believes what she was saying about her being an intergalactic space patrol person fighting against a Skrull because now he saw it firsthand. There's a dead Skrull in the thing, so like I want to know more about this woman. Um, and we learned that Skrulls can only remember recent memories when they copy. So um, we
Right.
they have to learn things or to validate their identity. They have to learn things about each other that only they would know, or like things too far into the past, childhood memories, teenage memories, stuff like that. And this is where Nick Fury says that he can't eat toast that's cut diagonally. That's one of the things that he is, a
Interesting.
quirky thing, which is confirmed because he did eat toast in Age of Ultron. And I've been watching a lot of replays. I've been listening to and watching a lot of videos on the analysis of that one scene. And yes, he did cut it in half. It wasn't diagonal.
Oh,
It was in
that's
fact
weird.
half. Yes. Um, you can find my report written and in the Webster's library for
Wow.
validity.
Wow.
But it's a
Hall of
weird thing.
Fame.
If you had something, what would it be? What would the tell be for you, for me to believe that you are not a scroll? What's an offbeat fact
Oh.
that you have?
Um. Uh. I waited. No, no, no. That's actually a good one.
Yeah,
Because
like,
now I feel like I'm a squirrel.
oh my god, you're a scroll.
And I'm like, "Tangina." Good question. Good question. Oh, here's one.
Okay,
Um, a guy named Franz.
Jesus.
He slipped and broke his ankle at the first game
Man,
of the day.
those egg races can be
Dead.
brutal.
He sprained his ankle on the first game,
Yep.
and it was like it put a damper on the whole event.
Did it? I had to leave,
Yeah,
so
it did.
I didn't get to see him fall.
Yeah,
I
it
just
was
saw
great.
him like before we left the first station. Franz was like, "Yo, I'm hype. Let's do this." Right in Tagalog, he said that. So I'm like, "All right, yo.
Yeah,
If you're the first one at the second station, that means you guys killed it." This guy came in like with his
last.
leg up, like in the van, like he was out for
Dying.
the count. And I was like, "What is this, man?
Yeah,
What happened?" I still
yeah, that was.
remember one of the guys that saw him. I think a day after we had an assembly, and he's like, "Yo, Franz, you okay, man? She do that happen in ball?" And he's like, "No, egg race." I was like,
I'm dying. I saw it happen right before my eyes,
"Oh
and
man,
that's something I will never forget. That's a
that's
weird detail.
Shout out to the egg
What about
races.
you?
Shout outs to Kevin Lim. Um, yeah, it would something definitely be a memory like that. It would probably be I had diarrhea in I had diarrhea in at the Square One bus terminal washroom Saturday at like 2:30 p.m. Like this was prime time, dude. Like the bus terminal was busy as fuck. And I was
Dude.
crossing the street towards Zellers, but it hit me. I was like, boom, I can cross the street and potentially shit myself and I go and I go to Zellers to clean up, or I just run back right now into the washroom and unload this monster. Like release the Kraken, right? And I couldn't, man. Like the light wouldn't turn, so I went back. The washroom was busy, dude. There's so many people coming in and out. Took the last stall. Like I'm pretty. This is what I did. I took the toilet paper, the roll, and I just like pulled it as hard as I can, and I didn't even lay it on the seat. I just like mummified it, you know. I was like, as long as it's covering enough, like I don't give a fuck. I'm pretty sure it
Oh
created a
my.
net in the middle too, which kind of.
Oh
But
my
my shit
god.
went through it, bro. As soon as I sat down, it was like the dam just like burst.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and it wasn't even like it was like solid, 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 liquid, 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 solid, 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 liquid, liquid, liquid. So
It's
it was like
all liquid.
it was like like and like they were farting in between. I didn't hold back, man. I didn't try to be quiet. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, yo, I'm
Oh
gonna
my
go. Yeah,
god.
dude. Man,
That the bus terminal washroom was the death.
it sounded like a Gatling gun. Somebody put like firecrackers in the fucking washroom.
Oh my
The
god.
best one was like as I'm looking out into the little crack, I see like the sink, right? And I see one of the guys come in, and like before he even turned the tap on, like he smelled my shit, and he did the exhale thing, like he's like, and he just left, man.
Oh
Uh,
no. My soul has left my
that's the one thing.
body. Oh fuck.
And I didn't even I got
Yeah.
to Zeller's at like 3 o'clock, and Austin was there. It's like, yo, man, you said 2:30. I was like, don't even, not today, bro. Not today.
No.
Shout out to diarrhea, man. Oh yeah, that's something. If I tell you that, I'm not a Skrull,
True.
unless a Skrull has also experienced the same thing. Which, God bless you. Um.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we learned a little bit about Skrull mechanics and memories and how they work. So once again, she talks about memories as a way of validating, or I guess their way of putting security questions towards one another to identifying Skrulls. So memories is here used again as part of the narrative. Too many memories, man. She proves she's not a Skrull by firing a photon blast. And Fury's like, okay,
Okay.
which is hilarious because it's like, how do I know that that's not what Skrulls do? Which is hilarious, right?
Like
For as a Kree, they would know what that means, but to a human, it's like, okay, I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe the Skrulls can do the same thing, right? Aliens are new to us. Um, that was actually really funny. I actually laughed out loud at that part.
I know, and it was the jukebox too.
Yeah, which is she also does the same thing later on, and then near the end of the movie, she like
Oh yeah.
destroys a jukebox in space, right?
True.
Um, but hitting jukeboxes is also a very old school thing,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
right?
it's a really '90s thing or pre '90s because We had CD players in the '90s,
Mhm.
and shit like that.
And one particular character back in like the 70s or 80s is the Fonzie. And
Yeah,
he had a particular thing of hitting the jukebox and it would play the whatever song he wanted it to play. So I guess it was kind of like that a little bit, especially in the the last part of the movie when she hits the jukebox. The "I'm Just a Girl" plays by No Doubt, right? It's like, oh, it's like a jukebox thing.
true.
Um, so we learn about Project Pegasus, which has already been mentioned before via Tony Stark and the a bunch of uh, documents in the first Hulk. We see a little bit of it, so now we finally get to see what's happening with it and when it took place. So this is 1995, and Nick Fury's like, let's just go there. Let's go find out who this woman is that you think that you know from your dreams, Dr. Lawson. It's at this place called Project Pegasus, and we slowly learn that everybody should call him Fury, right? He said,
Not Nicholas.
people call me Fury, not Nicholas, not Nick,
Yeah.
not whatever, just
Yeah.
Fury, which is a really detailed thing, which is like, okay,
Hmm.
I know it's been in this movie, that's a telltale, right? His boss called him Nicholas, which is what he, got in his mind. But now a lot of people are going through a lot of the old movies, and yes, we do hear Maria Hill call him Nick. We do hear Steve call him Nick. We also we also hear them call him Fury. There's sometimes that he gets called Nick.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying that's the whole trick with it is that now, especially after Far From Home, we never know whether that's Nick Fury or whether that's a Skrull. And I feel like that's what he's been doing since the 90s. Because Talos
True.
at the end was like, where do I go? And Talos is like, maybe I could be your boss. And Nick's like, no, you're my boss. I mean, I'm your boss now. You know, it's like, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know, stream. I might be wrong,
Interesting.
but I feel like it's a cool
Interesting.
thing for Nick to do. He's
Yeah.
not like he's that master of espionage, but he's not even who he is, bro. Crazy. He's the spy, as Tony Stark
Oh
said.
my
He's
god.
the spy.
That's
Whew,
cool. I like that.
crazy.
I like that theory.
Anyways, they go to Project Pegasus and we meet Goose for the first time, who looks like a cat, but later on we learn that he is a flurkin.
Yes, Flurkin.
A little bit of a weird name, but yes, it is
Yeah.
accurate. It does look like a cat. I mean, flurkins in the comics. So good for Marvel for not finding it too weird of a design in the comics not to be put in here.
Yeah.
Um, and his name is Goose, which is a nod to Top Gun, Tom Cruise's sidekick buddy. Spoilers that died during the movie.
You could be
Spoilers.
my co-pilot.
You could be,
Bullshit. You could be mine.
you could be mine. Wake out, because it's literally
Yeah. Wow, wow, wow. Wow.
Val. Man, Val Kilmer wanted to make out with Tom Cruise so hard in that
Man.
movie. It's
Yeah, that
crazy.
would have sold for a really good second movie.
Yeah,
So, you know.
Top Cock. It's just like now it's just
Or like
a relationship between Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise, because that's what it was, man. He was
Top
just
Cock.
like
No.
trying to pretend that there's no underlying love
Yeah.
connection or between those two.
Yeah.
Um, anyways, yeah, Goose is from that movie.
Dun, dun, dun.
Highway to the danger
Danger
zone.
zone. Da, 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 da.
Um,
Yeah.
Danvers gives Jude Law another call, and at this time she still trusts him, and so practically she's still giving him more information, and things slowly start to unravel, you know, as conversations are being exchanged. Meanwhile, Fury's boss calls him Nicholas, and shit goes down. Nicholas Fury tells him, go upstairs or over there. was actually a false information. They went to a different floor. He goes to warn Captain Marvel about the Skrulls being there, and now they're trying to escape, along with Captain or whatever Lawson's file, scientist Lawson's file, and we get to see that Coulson turns a blind eye when he sees Fury helping Danvers. Um, Pretty cool.
Yep.
This might be why he was such a trusted agent by
Yeah.
Fury in the future. When he became director. Director, there we go. He's the director of Shield.
Director.
That makes
Right,
sense.
there
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go.
Um,
Yo, but hold on. So did Coulson ever see the aliens? Was he in the room with the alien body?
no, I don't think so.
No, right? And he actually doesn't know what's going on then, because the other agent was like, if you see Fury, uh bring him in or like kill him or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this is like a major thing for Coulson to
To risk,
like do.
to risk it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
And he doesn't know that she can shoot photons out of her fucking arms. They just think that she's a runaway.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah,
Maybe I'm not really sure. I feel like he did see her do the photon thing, maybe in the first part,
yeah,
but it could be wrong. But
yeah,
Coulson definitely doesn't have as much information as Nick Fury or even the next guy. But I think if the action that happens here should be pretty clear cut to him that this is all real, and that I'm not
yeah.
saying that Fury was right in what he's doing, but he also believes that whatever Shield is trying to do might not be right as well, right? Like in terms of scrolls, all that shit.
True.
Um, but yeah, pretty cool for Coulson. He didn't really do much in this one, young Coulson.
Yeah,
But it's good. It was good to see him. It's very streamlined to the MCU timeline for him to be there.
yeah.
Um, then we finally get to see Ronan again, younger Ronan, and we learned that the Accusers is a branch of the Kree military. They're pretty much the guys that just come in and I guess clean up or finish the job if it came to. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the president is assassinated, destroy the city, and the Kree would come in and like sheer power, right? There's no negotiating with the accusers. To them, it's you have been judged and now they're there to execute it,
That's crazy.
type of thing. Yeah. Uh, Demolishing planets, yeah. And Jude Law doesn't want his secret out, so he goes to Earth himself. So now this is where things are unraveling, and he pretty much assumes that Danvers knows everything. And by this time, Danvers has um, the motherfucking file. So really, she just needs somebody to try to explain to her and piece it all together. Um, and they escape Danvers and Fury with what looks like a Quinjet, but it's probably the prototype Quinjet in Shield. Looks pretty
Hmm.
cool. It looks pretty. It looks like the current Quinjet, except it's
True.
very Star Warsy like. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, so this is where they get the tech from the science guy, from the Skrull science guy, because the plane came back, right? Like
Came back. What do you mean?
that the Quinjet that they took to space,
Mm-hmm.
it had to be brought back
I
to
guess
bring
so.
the
Yeah.
yeah. So that's probably where they kind of like base their like Quinjet technology on.
Yeah, like to further improve it, I think so
Yeah.
too. Because I think
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe Hydra already had something.
yeah, Zola was there from the start, right?
Yeah,
And he had
but the space tech dude, like the Skrull guy, actually said that he knew how to modify it to, you know,
to
go
go
in
into space
space.
space. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So yeah, when they came
yeah.
back, I was like, oh, this shit modded. Oh, you got new rims.
Oh, yeah. Where's the
Damn.
dude? Who's your guy? He's dead.
Oh, fuck. What happened to him?
Oh,
Jude Law killed him.
Shit.
Anyways,
Well,
they escape and they go into Maria Rambeau's
yeah,
house, which is Carol
yeah,
Danvers' best friend, BFF,
yeah.
BFF
Nice
else.
house. God
Very nice
dang.
house. You know, she lives like
So
she's got a
big.
lot of land. She
Yeah,
has a little hangar there
yeah,
for
yeah,
her
yeah,
plane. Nice, tire swing for the
yeah.
kids. You know, must be nice.
Yeah, it was in the 90s, so things were not as expensive.
Facts. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Maria Rambo is also a real character from the comics, also from within Captain Marvel's storyline. She's also the best friend, and I believe she's a superhero too. I don't even know. I'm not sure about that.
Maybe.
Do you know?
No idea. I think the daughter is.
I know that one that the daughter is,
Yeah.
and it's fitting that this is '95. So I think by
Yeah.
2020 she would have grown up to be able to have some sort of superpower or be a superhero. Maybe I bet to be able to see that. Never know. Um, and Danvers learns more and more about her past life. You know, this is her best friend. She's pretty much painting the perfect picture of what Danvers used to be, right? Which leads her to questioning everything that the Kree was that has told her, right? Questioning whether the scrolls are bad or not. So now, kind of like the phases of the tone of movie has changed, because what Danvers thought was one thing might be another thing, and she's trying to apply it to the same nature as the people that the Kree are trying to control and you know protect themselves from. But in reality, it's the Kree were the ones that were hunting these people down. You know, which is fascists, man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's pretty
Um,
that's
and,
not cool.
and a little creepy part comes in, with Talos coming in and like, she's like, "Don't fucking move." It's like, "Where's my daughter?" And then he looks outside, and then the BFF is out there as well
Yeah.
with the daughter, and she's like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god!" And you're like, "Nope." You know, in my head, I was like, "They're about to die."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But really, he came in there to talk to them, and he's there to compromise and to negotiate, and for one thing, to ask for help. So now we're seeing a little bit of the tone of voice from the scrolls have changed as well. Seeing a clearer
Hmm.
picture um, on what they were actually going through. Right? We were told that they were conquerors and that they're like terrorists, right? But in reality, in that planet, they were just trying to live. They were literally
Hmm.
like citizens and shit, which is like it's like Iraq, right?
It's true.
The U.S.
Yeah.
is like, you have oil. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
think so. And they're like, no, 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 you have oil.
No, they're like, you have Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, you have weapons of mass destruction. They're like, no,
Yeah.
we
You
don't. We
have all of
have
those things.
we have pistachio. They're like, no, you have weapons of mass destruction,
We
and
only
a lot
have
of pistachio. Both.
we're gonna ignore the pistachio.
we're
There's a
gonna
lot of it. There's a lot of it.
there's a lot. We're gonna ignore
So
the pistachio.
the U.S. like in all the reports, no one mentioned any pistachio.
um,
Casualty count 30, sir. Anything
pistachios.
else? Nope.
How about any nuts? I don't think so. Nope, nope, nope. Like
Not
small,
any.
maybe used for
No.
like sweets over
No.
simple sugar. They're like, not that I know of.
Really, yeah,
There's some Snickers there. That's about it.
yeah,
um, by this time, we finally get a full flashback of the crash with all the puzzle pieces coming together. We learned
yeah,
that the Kree somehow changed her memory of
yeah,
Yogg Run, originally coming
Jan
at
Rog.
her. Yoggoron, is it? What's her name? What's his name?
Jan Rog.
Jan Rog, is it? Whatever.
Yagran.
I've been calling him Jude Law the entire time. Uh, we learned that the memory of Jude Law coming with a gun to her was changed
Yeah.
into a scroll. We also get to see how her powers are being affected from the energy core created by Marvel. So, long story short, right? Marvel created a technology that could end all the wars, something about their light speed technology, which pretty much like what the boosters are on her hands, right? And these powers during the explosion fused with her.
Yeah, that's why she can go to space. Like,
Yeah,
she can travel through space, and that's hard. Like
as
rockets
just a
and
human being, yeah.
yeah,
Um, and then
that's
which
X.
ultimately is the technology that's supposed to save the Skrulls because to power their ship
Yeah,
to finding a new home.
yeah.
But Jude Law's like, fuck that. I want that weapon to kill all the Skrulls and kill Xandar and be the best fucking Kree Empire there is, bro. Hell yeah. High five, man. Yeah, bro. That's what pretty much what the Kree was doing. Hell yeah, bro.
Oh my god.
Um, then then this further unravels the fact that Marvel was trying to help the Skrulls, man. It's revealed
And
that
she
they
was
are
Cree.
that she yeah exactly, but she was Kree. That's why it was such a secretive thing. That's why she had to
Yeah,
make a secret floating spaceship base.
yeah. It's crazy.
Um,
How do you do that?
it revealed also that they're refugees and not conquerors in this universe. 616, they are still strong, but here the Kree destroyed them. It's crazy. Uh, Monica
Word.
Rambeau is the daughter of Maria Rambeau, also another character for comics. Uh, and she helps Carol Danvers pick out a new set of colors. Because,
Yeah.
not gonna lie, those Kree colors were kind of dull, my guy. I mean, yeah, it's the color of Kush, and I
Yeah,
approve,
yeah.
but
Yeah, that's Cess though.
a superhero? Hell no,
Yeah.
huh? Uh, what did you think about her costume in comparison to the rest of the MCU costumes that we see?
Oh, it's nice. I like it.
Simple? Yeah,
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 I like when it goes CGI, and it's practical,
yeah.
and the practical version is nice too.
I like her helmet too. I like the
Yeah,
it makes her look like she has a little mohawk thing.
I like that. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Spartans.
Yeah, like a Trojan
Yeah,
helmet type of thing. Really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I like that.
Um, but yeah, shout outs to the
Yeah,
red, blue,
Nova.
and yellow, and the star in the middle. Fucking crazy, man. Really
That's
cool.
kind of nice.
What's his name again? Your Goron.
Jan Rog.
Jan Rog goes into Earth thinking that he's gonna meet up with Captain Marvel, but turns out that it was the Science Scroll. Science
Wow.
Scroll. Fucking fucking kills him instantly.
Yeah, yeah.
But then
Rude.
we learned that it was his blood that they
That was
used.
blue.
Yes,
Oh,
put the transfusion it to Carol Danvers, and in that they also manipulated her memory. So this is kind of like solidifying the fact that he's behind all the manipulations of Carol
wow.
Danvers, and probably what's also stopping her from unleashing her full power with that little chip on her neck. She probably has no idea that you know she can just take that off, which she does later
Yeah.
on, but still manipulative. Um, they
Wow.
get to Marvel's lab, which is like camouflaged, cloaked in space. Really cool thing. And it contains, hey, the Tesseract. Man,
Wow.
seeing this thing, I remember watching the movie. I'm like, oh, the Tesseract. It was just like, there's,
Oh, wait, I woke up.
yeah, there's no more like, whoa, the
Yeah,
Tesseract.
yeah, yeah.
Like
No, no, no.
we've gone through that phase now, where it's just like, oh yeah, the Tesseract is here. Of course it is, right?
Yeah,
Um,
it's been here.
yeah, it's been here, and now we learned that where it was during the '90s. So we know that during Cap, after they got it from Red Skull, Howard Stark got it, and then as Shield fell and Zola came in the picture, um, Hydra took care of it in Age of Ultron, but before that, it was safely within Shield during the '90s. This is where it
True.
is. And Lawson probably had enough clearance as a Shield agent to be able to use it to experiment, right?
True. True.
Uh,
She's like, hey, I know that. I
oh
know
yeah,
what that
can
does.
I use that one? Are you using that?
Yeah.
That's what she went into Zola's office. But are you using this? Hey, Barb, a second. Fucking Tesseract. Oh, and the stapler too. Like, give me a Tesseract and a stapler. That's so
Do you need staples? No.
Tesseract. Yeah, Tesseract's
No.
fine. Thanks.
Yeah,
Um,
and the stapler, but no staples, please.
yeah, Staples like this. Like, can I borrow a Tesseract? I gotta go to Staples after work. I ran out. Um, we see that the refugee scrolls, which is Talos's shorty,
Oh,
they're the ones living in that lab. So not only was she trying to help them, but she was also sheltering them. Man, Marvel, this girl, she's like
saint.
facts,
Yeah.
philanthropist,
Jeez.
charitable, smart. Um, she probably get it too.
Uh,
I'd smash her for sure.
why not?
Um,
Sure.
yeah, hell yeah,
Older woman.
just to get
Why not?
just to get some nuclear reactor in me. Why not?
Uh, Space Stone.
Yeah, that's how it feels like. So
Yeah.
yeah, Talos reunites with this shorty, and she's like, right now, and he's like, no, 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 I can't, not right now. he's like, are you crazy? Calm down, woman.
I'm
Uh,
so fucking dying. He's like, yo, come on, it's been years, my guy. Hurry.
it's been years, my guy. Hurry. It's like, yo, chill, bro. Fucking
I'm
Jude Law
dying.
is coming. Yeah,
He
Jude
came
Law,
like 2 seconds.
dude. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jude Law came through like a jackass with his
Yeah.
fucking squad of dickwads and like
Yeah.
captures everyone. And they pretty much tied down Danvers and forcibly make her talk to the Supreme Intelligence, right? He comes in down there and she's like struggling. Supreme Intelligence is like, "You're a piece of shit. You know that?
Wow.
You're a girl." Now all this starts happening again. All the memories start flooding in. Now that she knows that those memories aren't just visions, they're actual things that happened to her. This is now just another challenge for her to step up. All this time with her visions, it's always been her falling down, struggling, defeated, weak. You know what I'm saying? And then slowly the montages turned into her getting up. So really, guys, it's not about you falling. It's not about how many times you fall,
Oh.
but it's about how many times you get up.
Oh my
Because
god.
that's what matters. Okay. Um,
Wow.
and that's what she did. She fucking, bro. She went Super Saiyan. She's like, ah.
Like Vegeta, like
Yeah,
ah.
she broke out like a Super Saiyan, like
Yeah.
through the motivational trip from her
Oh my
oppressed
god.
memories, from
Yep.
being a woman, aka also known as a girl. You're a girly girl. You guys. I know you've heard that insult back in high school or in elementary. Man, Gerald, man, you throw like a girl. You know what I mean? Yo, what is it,
What are
man?
you talking
You
about?
walk like a girl, man. You're a girl, as if being called a girl is a bad thing. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I mean, for me, I used to joke around with my friends like that too. Even now, hey man,
Right
what's
now.
wrong? Your vagina hurt?
What was the point you were trying to make with that?
I'm just saying is that that's what she's using to motivate herself to get
Oh,
the
true.
supreme intelligence out of my face. And supreme intelligence is like Veers, and she's like, my name is Carol.
Oh
It's a
my
similar way to Neo saying my name is Neo. What is it? Because he kept calling him Mr. Anderson, right?
yeah.
It's like my name is Neo, and he like breaks out.
Ooh, you just took his arm.
Yup, exactly. Supreme Intelligence is like, this is impossible. Ah,
that
and
was like that Neo moment.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
like, "Did we do it?"
she pretty
and
much
he
breaks out,
absorbed him.
right? And then like she takes
Yeah,
off the chip on her neck. She's like, I don't need this shit. The fuck?
yeah,
It's not even fair. She literally like
yeah.
flexed like
yeah,
that.
I know. She did the Nova flex.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
flexed the elbows. The elbows were flexing that
guys.
day. Um, she's pretty much OP at this point,
Yeah,
right?
it's like
The
it's really how can you even not say it's not even fair?
It's not exactly.
Yeah,
Everybody starts escaping. And she tells Fury to take the Flurkin along with the Tesseract, but leave the mailbox because she's about to do some deceiving, give them some time while they try to escape. And the Flurkin eats the Tesseract. This is the
yeah.
first time we get to see it being an actual alien. All this time we just think it's a cat. Um, and he picks him up. He says, "I'm trusting you not to eat me." And hence, that was the last time he trusted someone since he lost his eye. Was Goose Flurkin. I wonder
La-
if Goose is still alive in the MCU.
Oh yeah, that's actually maybe they'll address it in Captain Marvel 2.
Yeah. Um, Now, Captain Marvel fights Jude Law, uh, which is, I guess, a little unfair for Jude Law, but he does have some pretty cool tech with him that can, I guess, give him some sort of uh, a fight against Carol Danvers. But I love the song "I'm Just a Girl" by No Doubt plays.
Yeah,
I mean, the choreography in the fight wasn't all that amazing, but I just love the soundtrack on that one. Shoutouts to No Doubt. Shoutouts to Gwen Stefani, and of
yeah.
course, shoutouts to the message of the song. It's pretty much, giving you a sarcastic thing about I'm just a girl. You know, I'm just a girl. I can't do anything wrong. I can't fight you. Wrong, bitch.
Oh
Being
my
the
god.
shit out of you, Jude Law, because you're a piece of shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
crazy. He had to fight the strongest being in the universe.
Yeah. Like, but then again, he had no idea that that was the capacity of it, right?
yeah, but he was talking that shit. He's like,
Oh,
"Come
facts.
on."
it's, it's like they were
like how
playing, they were
you
playing
don't
ball.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know. This guy's an NBA player. You're just from I don't know.
Yeah, you're like,
You're not even N.
you're just a BA. You're just a BP. You're a basketball player. Um,
Butter and patties.
Shout outs to that
Yeah,
amazing. I'm gonna make some later. Um,
yuck.
Fried rice style though. Skrulls escape via Talos when he disguised himself as a guard. Of course, the Flurkin kind of gave that away a little bit, but he played it cool. He played it cool like Havana. This
Mm,
is Fury and Talos' bond strengthened throughout this. That kind of made them trust each other more. And
yeah.
like, it must be pretty weird for a squirrel to be like, this guy doesn't think we're bad just because of what we do and what we look like. I fucks with this guy. That's what he said to. But that was a deleted scene. He's like, "Yeah, I fuck with you, bro." And Fury's like,
the,
"Bet." That's it.
the handshake.
Yeah, the
The,
what?
is
Um,
who's that actor for Talos? He's pretty good. What is this motherfucker? Ben Mendelsohn. How does he look like in real life? Oh shit.
is he good looking?
Huh. Yeah, he looks like he's real dad looking.
Oh, he looks familiar. I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple of movies with him in it. I have
Yeah.
seen a couple of movies with him in it. Cool.
Which one?
Captain Marvel. That's it. I think he was in Ready Player One,
Oh, right.
which was alright.
Cardellini.
Which was I. Um, and Danvers learns how to fly in this one. So this is something that she has gained by taking off the chip on her neck. Is the ability to fly, and she just goes full power. Jude Law is literally no match for her. But Ronan comes through like a jackass, right, with his fleet of ships, and he's like, "Earth, oh, fuck is this shit, man?" So he fucking fires a barrage of missiles towards Earth, and it's fucking nuts, dude. Like
How did she do this?
she like oh man, she like plowed through all the missiles,
Yeah.
fighters, and fucking human rocket punches the entire ship.
Yeah.
And she goes into the front of the ship and fucking
Yeah.
does the fucking it's not even fair, dude. I
That's
love
just
the when she does that and it's just like poof, like woo. This
godlike.
I'm just a
It's a
girl.
flex.
Facts.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
Ronan's like,
Nope.
I
Nobody flex like this in the MCU.
Ronan turned into SpongeBob. He said I'm heading out. That's what he said. He turned into that cholo. He said adios. You know the
Yeah,
portal. That's what he did. Which
I
is
like
true.
that.
He doesn't die here. Not yet. You get to see it. Uh,
Yeah, it's cool. We get to see '90s Ronin. He looked
yeah,
like he looked skinnier,
yeah.
and
He looked
you
like
know,
he gets more sleep this
yeah,
time, like less stress.
yeah,
Ronin. He's just like
nice skin. Really,
his cutis,
wow. Neutrogena,
Neutrogena papaya soap. Um,
Lucas.
and like Jude Law, even in on Earth, is still trying to fight Carol Danvers, which is just hilarious because
Yeah, that was a
you
funny
know
scene.
he thinks that he was being forgiven with the hand, handshake given to her, but no, she's just dragging you back to space. I'm not killing you, bro. You're gonna send a message to all you other Cree fuck buddies out there. And don't mess with Earth and don't mess with me, and none
Wow,
of y'all are gonna die. Okay. You see that, man? She put him in the ship and she
mercy.
like blasted the engine with her own
How?
engine. It was very cartoony, like boop,
Yeah.
his head's like fucking flies back to space,
Nice.
which is hilarious. Pretty, he just had to hold that L pretty much. He lost a
Yeah.
tourney. He drowned in pools. Um,
Shit,
Fury
he
gets
went
his
0-2.
Fury gets his eye scratched, and Talos gives him a look like, "Oof, that's not going to heal at all, bro."
Yeah.
Which we learned that a Flurkin scratch is not like a regular scratch from a kitty cat.
Mhm.
It leaves you fucked up, which might have also helped them because at least that eye was their key into ensuring that plans during Winter Soldier were going to follow through. So,
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
a sense,
Yeah.
good job, Lurkin.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Yeah. Meant to be.
Tesseract stays on Earth. Fury gets an upgraded beeper that he later on uses to call her against Thanos, which now makes sense as to why he was using a beeper to call Captain Marvel. It was a thing from the past, from the 90s.
Yeah.
Did you
90s,
ever?
yeah.
I don't think I ever owned one, but my
Nope.
dad did have one, my uncle did have one. And I thought it was okay. It's
Yes.
the closest thing that you can get to phones back then was that, really. Like,
Yeah. And you have to go to a phone.
yeah,
Isn't it crazy that all this communication technology happened in our lifetime?
yeah, dude. Like the jump from
Yeah.
like
The jump.
rotary phone to
Yeah. Yeah. All.
FaceTiming instantly and all
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
stuff, like pretty
Yeah.
huge, man. I mean, if you look at 1300s to 1400s, not much.
Nope. Those are dark
Horses,
ages.
check. Swords, check. Still the same, you know.
Yep. Year after year, potato harvest.
But you look at
That's
nineteen
it.
hundreds to 2000. Oh, buddy,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Ridiculous
not even
time.
that, dude. 2000 to 2020. It's ridiculous. We went from
Yeah.
fucking MIDI players to having 2 terabyte hard drives. That's
Yeah.
$60. Are you kidding me?
60 bucks.
Are you kidding? Yeah. Are you
This guy
kidding me?
put it in layman terms.
Girls used to suck dick for 1 gig. You know what I
They
mean?
did. They
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
It was a real problem
Yeah.
because I had to get so many 1 gig hard drive.
Oh man. And the sad part was the only way to get that was the same way you gave it. So
Yeah, so it was a good economy for
I
me
guess
for
so. Yeah, it was a
sure.
cycle. It was a cycle.
Yeah.
Um, Fury is back in the office, and Coulson asked him, "Is it true that the Kree burned your eye out because you refused to give that to the Tesseract?"
Yeah,
And he didn't answer him, but this is probably what everyone thinks what happened. Which,
it's awesome.
yeah, I mean, only he can actually
You know,
say whether it's true or not, right?
you know what he said? He said, "I cannot, I cannot either deny
Confirm or
nor
deny that.
confirm."
Yeah.
And they're
Uh,
like, "Understood."
yep. Which makes him a little bit more badass than just being scratched by an alien cat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like.
Um,
I'm gonna answer shit like that from now on.
he names the famous initiative after Danvers' call sign pilot name, the Avenger.
Oh,
This is why he calls it the Avengers Initiative. Cool
interesting.
little thing. And the mid-credit scene is when the team's trying to analyze the peeper left behind by Fury. Denver shows up asking where Fury at,
Where
which
is
to
he?
me was probably the hypest part of the movie.
Yeah,
Um, sadly,
yeah,
sadly, I mean, I enjoyed Captain Marvel, but obviously
yeah, yeah.
seeing her finally intertwined with the rest of the universe was a very hype moment. And it was dope how it's like I didn't expect her to be there right away. I thought it
Yeah.
was just gonna cut off with Black Widow saying, "If it beeps, tell me" or whatever. But she turns around and Carol is there. I'm like, "Yo,
This
let's
is there,
go,
yo.
let's
Yeah,
go!"
I like that. That was a good move.
Yeah, and she doesn't care about anybody else. Where's Fury? I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck
yeah. Who are you?
about
No.
Talos, whoever the fuck you are. Before we end this and have our final thoughts, let me go through some of these
Okay.
far-reaching details or I guess Easter eggs, things that I found. Anyway, Stanley cameos as a train passenger reading a script to what's that movie called? Something, which is a movie made by Kevin Smith that also talks
Oh,
about, I believe, the
memory.
but talks about a girl, talks about a girl that got let go or something like that. So it sort of relates to the movie, but it does fit within the timeline of what Stan Lee would have been doing during the 90s. And it's sweet that he gave a smile and she gave a smile, and it was just like a little tribute
Oh
thing.
yeah,
Um,
that was a nice one.
Sad to know that that's probably one of the last times we're ever gonna see a cameo by the great Stan Lee. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
There's no one else. Um, when Danvers lands in the blockbuster, she calls on her radio, "Veers, Star Force Command. Star Force Command, do you read me?" This is a nod to Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story 1 when he first came into Andy's room and he says, um, "Buzz to Star Command, do you read me?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
thinks he's a real fucking thing. Ironically, also came out in 1995 when the movie was set. Pretty cool.
Nice.
In Blockbuster, she blasts off a cardboard cutout of Arnold Schwarzenegger from the movie True Lies with Jamie Lee Curtis. It's a movie about a spy who deceived his wife, and she ended up being the badass fighter. Much how Jude Law deceived Carol, but she ended up being the badass fighter.
Interesting.
A little too far of a reach. Is that too far of a reach?
They've got long arms.
Watch True Lies, and then who has long arms? Jamie Lee Curtis, or I have long
No, no, for that reach.
arms. A little bit. At the bar scene, we see a Street Fighter 2 cabinet, and it's Sagat against M Bison, and M Bison is
Oh shit.
doing his Psycho Crusher move, which is very similar to how Captain Marvel fucks those ships up. Maybe that's where
True.
she learned that move.
Psycho Crusher.
Psycho Crusher.
Wow. That's cool.
When Fury was talking in the elevator down with his fake boss, he mentions to do the pincer move like they did in Havana. We know this is false because he only works in places that starts with a B. Bad boys, baby, for life. Pretty sure that was pretty. That was like that was a given, right? That was pretty blunt. Um, when Fury is talking to Carol about his past, he mentions the place he's just worked at. They all start with the letter B. Budapest is going to be a setting in the upcoming film Black Widow movie. So, hey, maybe we get to see another young Nick Fury in that one, or maybe a little bit older from here, but cool that she's in Budapest. And Bucharest is also the place where Bucky hid in
Mm.
Civil War, so maybe he called up Fury for some tips on the best Airbnbs
Like,
because Fury's been there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, where can I get the best kush? He's like, yo, trust me, daddy. Bucharest Bud is on the way. Um, at the best friend's house, Talos is sipping from a fast food cup, which has the same design as the one from Pulp Fiction that Sam
oh,
Jackson
nice.
drank from.
True.
Kahuna Burger. Yeah, pretty
Nice.
cool.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
as a little girl, what's her name again? Monica Rambeau
Monica Rambeau, yeah.
plays around with Captain Marvel's colors. She says nope to red and gold, which might be a jab at Shazam, since Shazam used to be called Captain Marvel.
That's funny.
The white and green combination is a nod to the original Captain Marvel in the comics, who Danvers got the powers from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and honestly, if she went with the red and gold, she'd have a problem with Iron Man. That's
Yeah.
kind of his thing a little bit. Um, when the Flurkin eats the Tesseract, this is a semi callback to the first Avengers when Black Widow showed Banner a picture of the Tesseract. He says, huh, what does Fury want me to do with it? Swallow it?
Come on.
is, is that too far?
Yo, Dream. I think we found it.
FBI is like, stay where you are.
Wow. I'm amazed. I'm amazed at that
Last
one.
little bit here. There's a couple of Independence Day homages with the Canyon dogfight and Carol Danvers dragging Jude Law in the desert, like Will Smith did with an alien. So,
Nice.
welcome to Earth, motherfucker.
Whack. I remember that scene.
Yeah.
Well, the fight. You said the fight scenes, right?
Which fight scene?
The air fight scenes with
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, was pretty Will Smithy.
Oh, because the girl
No,
was
the
also
well, the
black.
fight scene, the dog fight, pretty much was like
Is very Will Smithy. What does that mean? Oh, like from the Independence Day movie.
yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I think that's what they were trying to go for. I mean, there's a lot of references to, like aliens, right? Independence Day aliens. Like they're also fighter pilots. Top Gun references. There's even a reference to Men in Black with the Flurkin holding the Tesseract, like as if it was the one with the fucking Orion's
Oh
belt
yeah, Orion's belt.
from Men in Black One.
True.
So I feel like they did a decent job at this, but it's not there, man. It's
No.
not there. I like this movie, but I wanted to like it a lot more.
It's pretty dry.
Is that what it
You
is?
know,
Is that
it's pretty dry.
what's missing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like you can make chicken breast good,
Mm,
and it can be juicy,
right.
but this particular chicken breast is dry for me.
Some dry ass titties.
That's not what I meant.
You need to soak these titties up. Chicken titties, right? Those are chicken
Oh
breasts.
no. Yeah,
Um,
it needed just needed some enzymes
I
to
think you're.
break down the meat.
I think you're right on this one in terms of like the dryness of it. Some of the jokes didn't hit super hard, and they still kept it in. Um, the sentimental moments weren't really hard hitting, but then again, I feel like this would be a whole different thing if we were women.
Maybe.
If we watched this through the eyesight of a woman, it's like, and what does the
Yeah,
lion
yeah,
think about Lion King, right?
yeah.
Or I'm not saying it didn't. I
Okay,
don't.
wait. You just said a lion is gonna watch Lion King, and I said, "Yep."
No, I mean it's like asking, like what did the
Yeah,
lion
yeah.
think of Lion King, right? Like it's
Well,
impossible for us to know ever
that's true.
because
That's
it's
true.
not like, oh, I'm gonna think like a woman. Like, how do you even know how a woman
Yeah,
thinks?
yeah. You can't
You know what I mean?
unless you are one. You know.
Exactly. Or you
So
identify as one.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
for me, I know, like, I got bullied a lot in high school and stuff like that. But it had nothing to do with me because I'm a woman. It's not because of my color. Not because I'm fat, which was hilarious. um,
Could be a combination of all of those.
yeah.
Yeah, you could be part woman, part
You could be all that. You
fat
could be fat. You could be a fat woman. You could be a fat colored
woman
woman.
immigrant.
Exactly. You could be a fat
Yeah,
colored
yeah,
woman. And I know some fat colored women, and they go through
yeah.
a lot of like ridicule.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
for me too. I ridicule them. Um, just kidding. Just getting extreme.
I'm dying.
First of all, fat culture is amazing. I'm part of the fat community, and so a lot of us take it lightly. We know we're fat. It's just funny. It's just funny. People tiptoe around it. Um,
I I think that's very funny.
it's hilarious. I used to date a whale. I could do. You know what I mean? Like I don't judge, man. If you're a skinny supermodel, sure I'll date you. You're a fucking whale. I'll date you as long as you have the right personality. You
Yeah, yeah,
know
yeah. Stream. Check out this guy's range right now.
exactly.
He's
As long
he's
as you don't
going from
as long as you don't
sea
ask.
mammals to supermodels.
Oh, I've never dated a supermodel in my entire life. What I'm saying is that compared to a whale, they're probably supermodels. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't judge, man. Whatever.
yeah. Judging
As
is
long as you don't ask questions after 9 p.m., I could go out with you. That's
9
it.
p.m. What the fuck?
Where did
What are
you?
you gonna?
Where'd you so late? Where'd you go, bitch? You know what time it is? I said no questions after 9 p.m. Head down.
This guy needs the cloak of night.
Um, I gave this movie back then. I think I gave this 7 out of 10. I think it stays there.
Really? That's kind of high.
I'm giving it high because I feel like it's beneficial to women.
Ah, okay.
You know, it would be a 6 out of 10 if it didn't have that type of substance or that type of narrative. But the fact
Yeah.
that it supports women empowerment, it's a fresher breath air compared to all the other Marvel movies. I mean, it's the only one with a female lead, right?
So far,
Marvel movies, yeah, with like a
I think
standalone.
so.
Yeah,
Oh shit, you're right. And
yeah.
it was pretty lucky for the dudes to actually even make the movie. Like
Hmm.
Sam Jackson and like Colson and like
Hmm.
because they could have just made an all girl cast. That would have been pretty hilarious to just spite all the dudes.
Yeah, exactly. But instead,
Oh,
they stuck with the narrative and they gave
fuck.
us what we want.
I wish they had gone on the route of like keeping the characters in, like Fury, Coulson, but then having him played by an actress that kind of looks like them or like acts like them.
Oh, instead of like actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
but then every
oh, I
you
know what you
advertise it
mean.
as girl Sam Jackson
I see.
or
It's
like
like, oh,
girl
Marvel
Coulson.
3 doesn't have Cyclops, but we have Sea Viper. Like
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
see. I know what
exactly,
you mean.
exactly.
Um, I mean, it makes sense for them though. They had to tie it in somehow with Endgame, so they had to have
Yeah,
characters there that were from the start. The new ones that we see, like Jude Law, didn't really stick with me. Maria
yeah.
Rambeau was a good actor, but once again, didn't
She's
really
out of
stick with
place.
me.
No,
Yeah,
she did
Talos
really good acting.
Talos was the only one that left an impression on me as be like, oh, cool, like this is a cool
Yeah,
new addition to the MCU universe.
I like that one.
And the fact that we
Yeah,
saw him again in Far From Home was even better. I was like, cool, man, they're still
yeah.
using this guy. So
He has a good accent too, because it's
yeah,
not quite like
it's
you
not
can't really
English
discern.
and it's not like American. It's like
Yeah,
it's as if it's an alien language, like an
yeah,
alien.
yeah. An
Uh,
alien accent
yeah,
of English.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy. How about you? I
yeah.
gave it a 7 out of 10. Gave you on a
Probably less.
like 2 out of 10.
X
Wow, you hate
six point
women,
five.
eh? Oh.
6.5 probably.
6.5. That's pretty fair as well. I mean, it really depends on the person, right? I mean, for us
Yeah, yeah,
two males, might not be the best in terms of getting you a good review slash feedback on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's almost the same thing as Black Panther, where it's like I wanted to like it a lot more than what it was, and it was a masterpiece in itself as a narrative, better story than Captain Marvel for sure. But once again, it was hard to relate because I'm not black,
Hmm.
right? But then again, some people ask the same thing. Where it's like, oh, because you relate more to Iron Man, so you're a billionaire that makes weapons, and you're like, you know what? You're kind of right as well. I shouldn't be relating to any of these fools. The only one I should
That's true.
relate to is Ned, right?
Ned.
Because that's me. Then again,
Ned.
yeah, that's his name, right?
Ned?
From Spider Man.
Oh, I thought you meant the Thor guy from Australia.
Oh, who's that?
His roommate.
Oh, from the shorts. I
Yeah,
forget
yeah.
his name.
Oh yeah,
Um,
you are just Ned. You just go to school. That's it. You're just the guy in the chair
I'm in a
for
chair right
Spider
now.
Man.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have
Oh shit.
superpowers. I don't have
Yeah.
abs. Just a dude, man. Um,
Yo, good job, Ned.
uh, does it set
Get
up
it.
for Endgame very well? I think this movie does. Because now we know we're capable. We see that she's capable of taking down ships. Because that's one of the main things she does in Endgame. Because like, if I didn't see this movie and I went to watch Endgame, she took down a ship. I'd be like, wow, that's too unrealistic.
Yeah, it's like okay, why was she up there this whole time?
Yeah, like I'd be rolling my eyes at that
Yeah,
part. I'd be like, yeah, of course, yeah, okay, like Captain Marvel. But I'm glad that she did the same thing here. It made it. They made her progress into being this Omega level superpowered person more believable than as much as they can. I'm not saying this is super believable. I don't
yeah,
think any of it is.
no,
But enough to not make it like because it's hard to make a Superman.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah. It's
Superman is
not
God
fair.
mode. It's cheat mode for
Yeah,
Superman.
like why watch it if you know they're gonna win? You know?
Justice League was literally like, oh man, this is a crazy movie. I wonder who's gonna win until Superman comes and he beats the
Oh,
shit out of everybody, and you're like, of course.
well,
And I'm glad they
there goes
didn't.
our fun.
I'm glad they didn't go the same route with Captain Marvel because she's still grounded, and the fact that she's one person and she has to take care of the whole galaxy is different for Superman, who has to protect Metropolis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
responsibility
one
level.
place.
Exactly. But what the fuck? What are you? Are you the manager of one KFC location? Like,
Yeah.
Carol Danvers, the fucking galactic district manager, dude. You better,
She's
you better clean,
dying.
you better clean the fridge because she's coming this week.
Oh my god. You better get your staff together. You better fire the
Yeah,
troublemakers.
you better wear that hat, boy. You know.
Yep, yep, yep. You
Um,
better find the boxes where you kept the hats that you never opened.
um, but yeah, I still overall enjoyed this movie, but I wouldn't go crazy for it. Gave it a 7 out of 10. Ray gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Guys, let us know what you think about
Whew.
this movie. What we got wrong, what we got right, some things that you learned, maybe some things that we need to learn. But we're not done yet. Much like Halo, we have to finish the fight. And the next movie is probably the most hypest, hypest one out of all MCU movies. You already know
Yeah.
which one we're talking about, man.
Yes. Sir.
Because that up there, that's the end game.
Shit.
That's what we're about to review. And I hope you're ready. It's going to be a good 6 hours with the amount.
Yeah, probably though. Dun,
With the
dun,
amount.
dun.
And I've already watched this, obviously. My rewatch is done, but I feel like I might have to go again before the review next week because it's
Oh my
that
god,
good
I
of a
can't
movie.
wait. Oh shit. Oh stream. He has been disconnect. He's got too hype.
Oh, my arc reactor!
I can't hear him.
I went into cardiac arrest. You can't hear me.
Still can't hear you. Then mute
Uh,
you. There you go.
my arc reactor fell.
That's hilarious.
And
Yo, Pepper. Thanks, Pepper.
it's Friday. It's Friday.
Oh, Friday, Friday, Friday.
So Friday, what the hell are they firing at? Something just went in the atmosphere. Woo!
Oh,
Shouts to Carol Danvers. Anyways, guys, next week, catch us for the end game rewatch analysis. Until next time, bye.